Yeah. Lil Brunson back at you with the back at you, and I am the best reporting on the Eagles. I want to give a quick shout out to the homie, man, Jameer, man. You know, one of the guys that watched my videos, one of the subscribers, man, he saw me in a restaurant in Matchbox. I was with my wife and my daughter. You know what I mean? Real great customer service, man. Real nice dude, man. Walked up to me, said, "What's up?" You know what I mean? We happen to live in the same area, and he's watching one of my videos. So, you know, salute to you, man. Amazing customer service. The crispy chicken, half chicken was amazing. I'll be back there to chop it up with you. And like I said, man, whenever you ain't got nothing to do, you could come through to the crib, man. Watch some games when the season pop off. I want to talk more about Darren Sproles. Darren Sproles a Hall of Famer. And I got some stuff we going to talk about that's going to, you know, help my boy Case a little bit. Now, the proper respect don't never get put on nobody's name that I mentioned for some reason until I come out with the good book, until I come out with the facts on why I believe it. A couple people saying, hey, if Darren Sproles is a Hall of Famer, then any good returnman should be a Hall of Famer. Listen, Devin Hester going to get into the Hall of Fame. Devin Hester is going to get into the Hall of Fame. But Devin Hester was nowhere near as versatile as what Darren Sproles was. You know what I'm saying? He was nowhere near as versatile as what Darren Sproles was. Devin Hester was a returnman. They tried Devin Hester out a couple times at cornerback. Ended up being barbecue chicken. Wide receiver really wasn't that good, but he was kind of explosive because of the speed. But Darren Sproles is what you call a Swiss Army knife. Darren Sproles, most all-purpose yards in a season. Damn, that lightning was crazy. That is a record. Darren Sproles, rushing touchdowns and punt returns in the same. Darren Sproles has a rushing touchdown and a punt return in the same game multiple times. I think he's on the list with people like Gale Sayers who've done things like that. Darren Sproles is 6th all-time all-purpose yards. I think he's really inching up onto that 6th spot. Darren Sproles he's one of 2 players with 500+ receptions, 500+ rushing attempts, and 500+ kick/punt return yards. Him and Brian Metcalf. You know what come on. It don't get no crazier than that. Only 1 or 2 players that did that. Darren Sproles is the only player with 30+ receiving touchdowns, 20+ rushing touchdowns, more than 1 kick return, and more than 1 punt return. The only player in NFL history with 30+ receiving touchdowns, 20+ rushing touchdowns, multiple kick returns, and multiple punt returns. That's Darren Sproles. That is the definition of versatility. A guy who can run the ball, a guy who can catch the ball for touchdowns, run the ball for touchdowns, catch the ball for touchdowns, get a kick return for touchdowns, and get a touchdown for even a punt return for touchdowns. Darren Sproles' first 2 touchdowns came off. One was a punt return and one was a kick return. Before they even knew this is the ultimate. Darren Sproles is the ultimate Swiss Army knife. This is Hall of Fame worthy. Seventh most punt returns in NFL history. Seventh most returns period in NFL history when you combine kicks and punt returns. I mean, listen, man. The numbers speak for themselves, man. He has a record. He has a Super Bowl ring. Darren Sproles is the most versatile player in NFL history. There's nobody that got 30+ receiving touchdowns, 20+ rushing touchdowns, multiple kick returns, and multiple punt returns. There's nobody like Darren Sproles. So all the good returnmen of the past were only just that, good returnmen. Darren Sproles is not only a good returnman, but Darren Sproles has proved to be a competent receiver, deadly on screenplays. Darren Sproles has proved to be a competent runner, deadly in space. Darren Sproles has proved to be an all-around football player on the offensive side of the ball. What is the dream of a football player? A football player would love to catch a touchdown pass. A football player would love to run the ball in the end zone. A football player would love to take a punt the distance or a kickoff the distance. Darren Sproles has done what a lot of these guys will never be able to do. There's not many. Think about all the great offensive weapons of all time in the NFL. Think about it. Think about them. Do Randy Moss got any kick returns? Now, you know, I'm not going to say Randy Moss might have a punt return. Do Randy Moss got any kick returns? Do Randy Moss got any rushing touchdowns? Come on, bro. It's not a lot of people with this resume, man. In the comments, man, give me another player that got a kickoff return, a rushing touchdown, and a receiving touchdown. Give me another player who did that. That is the definition of a Swiss Army knife. When people like to say, you know, Christian McCaffrey is the Swiss Army knife. No, we got the Swiss Army knife. There's nobody who has done over time the things that Darren Sproles has done. Darren Sproles still putting in work at 30 plus years old. Darren Sproles got the heart of a lion. I believe Darren Sproles is a Hall of Famer. But it gets real fickle when you're talking about Hall of Famers and who should be in the Hall of Fame. That's when it started getting tricky because people start losing their marbles. You know, I saw Uncle Leroy today. Uncle Leroy firmly believes, he don't firmly believe, Uncle Leroy believes it's a stretch, but Tony Romo should be in the Hall of Fame. He believes it's a stretch, but he should be in the Hall of Fame. I don't believe Tony Romo should be in the Hall of Fame. You know what I'm saying? Why should you put Tony Romo in the Hall of Fame? The only person that I believe that played with Tony Romo that should go into the Hall of Fame is Jason Witten. What has Tony Romo done to go to the Hall of Fame? What has he done? He hasn't been to an NFC Championship game, bruh. I mean, has he been to, has he? I don't know. No, he hasn't been to an NFC Championship game because the organization hasn't been there in 20 plus years. A lot of people like to have this knock on Troy Aikman, though. Troy Aikman's numbers aren't good. Troy Aikman didn't throw many touchdown passes. He's damn near 1-for-1 with touchdown and interceptions. But I do know this about Troy Aikman. He played in conference games. Troy Aikman played in Super Bowls. Troy Aikman won Super Bowls. Troy Aikman advanced in conference games as the quarterback. It ain't really about what Troy Aikman didn't do in week 6. It's about what Troy Aikman did when it was time to put in work. That's how you got to start judging these people. Darren Sproles has performed on the big stage. Darren Sproles is a Hall of Famer. Period. You can't even justify it, man. And then now I could go further. I've already broke down why Deshaun Jackson should be a Hall of Famer. Think about the Philadelphia Eagles and how many future Hall of Famers are on the roster right now. Right now, this upcoming season. I'm going to give it to you right now. Deshaun Jackson is a future Hall of Famer. Darren Sproles is a future Hall of Famer. Carson Wentz is a little early, but Carson Wentz got a shot. Zach Ertz is a future Hall of Famer. Jason Peters is a future Hall of Famer. Fletcher Cox is a future Hall of Famer. Come on, man. It's a lot of future. Malcolm Jenkins, I believe, is a future Hall of Famer. There's a lot of future Hall of Famers on this roster, man. About 6 or 7, what I count. The only team in national football, the only team in sports right now, the last year's team, probably Golden State Warriors, had more Hall of Famers. Or a runner-up. But I believe the Philadelphia Eagles got at least 7 legitimate Hall of Famers on their roster. Can anybody else prove that wrong? Darren Sproles, Hall of Fame, whenever retire. I don't know if it's going to be first ballot or what, but Darren Sproles is going to the Hall of Fame.